Reanimal has 18 different masks you can find hidden in the world, excluding the 2 add-on masks. And I'm going to show you how to find them in order so you don't miss them during a playthrough. Now this mask count might go up with future DLC, but for the base game, I'll have you covered. There's a few things to talk about real quick. 1. Some masks require you to defeat spider enemies called critters. 2. Fake masks exist. More on that later. So you can watch this video from the start of the game to the end of the game and stop at any point you don't want to be spoiled. And 3. There is one mask in the game that requires you to visit 4 hidden locations before it spawns. And it won't be there if you don't. We'll cover those locations in order as we progress. Let's start now. First up, we have the bird mask. So in the factory area, as you climb up these ladders, you'll come across Hood in a pipe. Now, we don't want to run this way. We actually want to go the opposite way to exit the building above the beach, and then go into this room here to find a bird mask. And this is what the mask looks like up close. So moving on, we're eventually going to encounter a locker room, and in one of these lockers is a hidden passage. And when we go through this passage, we're going to find this ball of worms right over here. And so this is called the worm mask, or worm head. Not long after getting this mask, we can continue on and we reach the top where these railroad tracks are at, and we're going to run down to the trolley, and we're going to go into this door here. This will eventually take us to where the clam mask is at, and this is what that clam mask looks like. Now, when we eventually make it across this bridge that we need the trolley for, we're going to encounter the very first hidden location we need for the mask later on in the game. So we go in this little alcove here, and we're going to find a rabbit statue that we can light up. And this is one of 4 needed in order to get the rabbit mask at the end of the game. So as we escape the sniffer, we're going to come to the forest and we're going to see a rooster. We have the head of the rooster on this stump, and I bring this up because we wear many other animal heads in this game, but this head cannot be picked up and used as a mask. Unlike when we get into the city, if we go into this building here and go back behind this counter, we're going to find a room that has the pig mask. And there's also a giant dead pig head up on the shelf. And this is what the pig mask looks like up close. Now, after we rescue Hood and exit the theater, we're going to see a critter scurry across our screen that is wearing a traffic cone. So we will follow it down to this building here, and we will pry open this door with our crowbar, and inside we'll have to smash the critter in order to gain the cone head, which is a collectible mask. So the next mask is a bit further out. At this point, we go through a flooded city and then eventually come out to where there's a giant cannon before we ultimately climb up this cliff and make our way into the countryside. Now here in this giant field, as we're running up to the barn, way off to the left, we can find a scarecrow. And this is where you can find the scarecrow mask, also known as the deer pillow. We can just take it from the scarecrow, and this is what it looks like up close. Now, as we make our way into the barn, there is a rabbit statue that we have to head down this way to find. And this will be the second statue we've lit. So after the barn, we hop on a bus, and we eventually come to the orphanage. Now, in the orphanage, after you climb through the clock, there is a hidden room off to the right over here that will spawn in another critter. And this critter is wearing a wooden bucket. So once we defeat it, the bucket is ours. And this is what that bucket looks like. Pressing on, right before we get to the big fight, in the cafeteria looking area, we can go into this room over here to find another rabbit statue. And this will mark our 3rd one we've obtained. Now, the next mask is really a headpiece, and it's a crown. And we can see the crown on top of this character's head. So a big fight happens in this room, and you have to be diligent to defeat the leader as they try to escape from the room. If they run away too fast, you cannot get the crown. But if you knock the lights out, you then get the crown. And now you're king of the castle. I have a chair. Now, not far from here, we have another fake mask, which is supposed to fool us into thinking this character was Bucket. But because we just obtained a wooden bucket, you would think we could just pick up this metal bucket and wear it as well. Well, that's not the case. It is not an actual hat. As we press on through the orphanage, once we get to this area, we're going to want to head towards the screen, and we're going to find a plant growing out of the ground. Now, it looks like a sack of potatoes, but the hat is actually called Plant Head, and we can just stick it on our head like so. This is what it looks like up close. Now, after the orphanage, we're going to make our way back to that cannon area, and we have to input a sequence into this machine to get more ammunition for the cannon. And outside here, where we power this thing on, there is a box we can push over. And inside this box is a critter. So once we make it down to the beach below, we can go to where that box fell, and we'll see a critter wearing a fish mask. We bop it a few times, and now we have a new floppy friend. So as you progress through the game and eventually reach the giant battleship, instead of going in the ship right away, go off to the right here. You're going to find a little beach back here that we can find this odd looking hat, which is called the package head, and you can just grab it and add it to your collection. This is what it looks like up close. Now as we make our way into the actual ship and then down to the ocean below, we're going to suit up into these diving suits. And this one's a little misleading because after you're done down below, your characters take this stuff off and they set it on the ground, but you can instantly just pick up the helmets and add them back to your collection. I imagine lots of players just walked away from this, not realizing they could just pick these up again, and this time keep them for real. These double dive helmets are called Old Sinkhead and Old Airpot. So now that the way is clear, we move on past the battleship, and before going into this tunnel, we're going to hang a right here to find a bunch of dead whales. And at the base of these whales, we're going to find the 4th rabbit statue that we need. So light this bad boy up, and we'll get ourselves a mask later on. As we head into the war zone, a lot of chaos is going to happen. But there's actually a bunch of masks right in a row once you find the trenches. So after Hood gets gobbled up, we're going to emerge right here, and then we're going to find these trenches, and you're going to notice a rat jump out of the trash can and then scurry under this door. You can actually go in this door, and you're going to find the bush head. And so we can just pluck the bush, and this is what it looks like up close. Honestly, not that far from here, in like 30 seconds, as you go into the trench, you're going to find the mine head. So just make sure you search the right wall as you move along. Eventually, you're going to find an alcove you can go into that is full of warheads. And sitting in the middle, you're going to find the mine head. I personally like this one a lot. And this is what it looks like up close. Now after the mine head, you're going to encounter a fake mask that you can actually pick up, but it doesn't count as one. And so we have metal helmets. A few soldiers in the area will drop a metal helmet that you can pick up and put on your head, just like a mask, but it doesn't appear in your inventory. Instead, this just gives you 1 extra hit against gun damage, so you don't die if you get shot. And just down the road in this same trench, we're going to find the rabbit head. So you're going to see a guy walking up top, shooting things, and you're going to go through this little opening here, and you're going to find where all the rabbit altars are. Now, if you come here without all the statues lit up, you're going to see this. There is no mask, except right underground, the mask is floating, but you can now obtain it. Well, probably without cheating. But if we have everything activated, when we come in here, we're going to see a different view. And we're also going to unlock an achievement once we walk out into this room. So we can grab the mask, put it on, and this is what it looks like up close. So as we move on into the war hospital, we're going to come into a room that has bolt cutters. Now you normally grab these and blow up, and then you'll take them elsewhere, but what you need to do is actually crouch under the desk, and there's a hidden hole. Inside here, you're going to find some deep lore in the background, some experiments, but also there's going to be the amphibian mask, which is this very cute frog mask. And here's a better look at the mask. Pressing on into the war zone, you're going to eventually come across a room where you can actually use guns. You typically have to shoot one of the bodies to get a key, which then unlocks this door over here. But in this next room, you're going to find an oven. Now, if you open this oven, a critter is going to run out and go to the previous room. And so you backtrack, and now there's a gas mask wearing critter that you must shoot off its head. You cannot use your crowbar, at least I wasn't able to. You'll have to use one of the firearms to defeat it, and then you claim your final mask, which is the gas mask. Now, there are 2 other masks, the mutton mask and the rascal head, but the secret locations for those are in your wallet. So yeah, you have to buy those. But that is all 20 masks currently in the game. Happy hunting, hope you found this helpful, and subscribe if you did. Cheers!